This month I actually didn't expect to read as much as I did, but I did, and I'm proud of myself. Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I think the last video that you guys seen by me was my February wrap up, and now I'm doing a March wrap up, and so there's going to be 2 videos next to each other of wrap ups because I've not posted anything this month except for the wrap up. I read 7 books, and surprise surprise, I didn't actually read anything on my Kindle this month. I really should have read some books on my Kindle because my Kindle Unlimited expired literally a couple days ago and I didn't read anything. But I did buy some books on it, so I will be reading those next month. But all of them except for one are physical books, which I'm very happy about. At the same time, I'm just realizing that this year has actually been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we're gonna go through all of them. We'll go in order of what I read for the month. The first book that I read for the month is Paper Princess. This was one of my most anticipated reads because one of my friends had posted an aesthetic of it last year, and I've had it on my TBR for such a long time, and so I bought it and I read it. So this book is about a girl named Ella Harper. She's been moving from town to town basically her whole life, and she's been living by herself for a couple of years since her mum had passed away. But one day this guy, Callum Royal, came to her school and was like, I have custody over you, and so he basically plucks her out of poverty and her job, which is not a great job for someone her age, which she shouldn't be doing, but she has to survive. She has to get money, and that's basically for her the only way she could get money. Ella doesn't like this idea of living with him. The deal is that she lives with him and his 5 sons throughout the rest of her high school until college, and she gets $10,000 a month for every month that she stays there. And so she reluctantly agrees with it and goes to live with him and his 5 sons. But obviously these 5 sons do not like her. They're just thinking that she's sleeping with their father, and they're just immediately like, we need to get her out of this house. She should not be here. Like, she doesn't belong here. She should just leave. So the first one we have is Gideon. He's the oldest. I think he's in college. I think he lives on the campus, like somewhere else, not in the house. And then we have the twins, Sebastian and Sawyer. And then obviously, like I said before, we have Easton and Reed. I gave this book a 4.5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I didn't really think I was gonna love it. If you love the Inheritance games, definitely read this book. It gives off similar vibes. And also Gossip Girl. It's Gossip Girl in a way that there's so much drama going on, like at the school that they go to, because it's, you know, it's one of those prestigious schools where it's like, it's just for like the rich. Highly recommend it. It is so good. I love Easton and Royal. I love all the brothers. The reason I didn't give it a full 5 stars is because the ending I did not like. Gonna put that out there. The ending, still really loved it. The next book is actually the second book in the Royal series. The first one was Paper Princess and the second one is Broken Prince. This one we actually get Ella's and Reed's POV, which I love that because the first one is only in Ella's and the second one we get Reed's. The second one picks up from the end of the first book, so you go straight into, like, you know, what happened. And I'm gonna be honest, I gave this book 3.5 stars. It was good, but it was very slow, kind of boring in some parts. It could have just been a lot more shorter than it was. Also, there are actually 5 books in the series. The first 3 are based on Ella and Reed, and then the last 2 are based on Easton and his love interest, which I love that. I can't wait to get to his book because I love Easton. I feel like one of my favorites. Obviously Reed's first, but like, love him. The next book that I read, I'm not going to say too much about it because I have a reading vlog that's going to go up, but Kiss the Sky. I finally got back into the series. I started the Calloway Sisters part of the whole 10 books, and as you can tell, this one, if you didn't know, is based on Rose and Connor. The first 3 books, if you didn't know, are Lee and Lo's books, which is part of the Addicted series, which is just their series. For this one, Rose decides to make a television show for all of like the core 6 because her clothing line, Calloway Couture, is literally dropped, and clothing stores are taking all of her lines out of their stores because they don't want to associate with them. Yes, they all have to live in a house for 6 months all together, including Reich and Daisy, and they also have to live with the producer Scott. Obviously, because this is Rose and Connor's books, we see them build their relationship. Rose is a virgin, so it's kind of like people like to put their opinion on her having not done it, and Connor not really being able to love. like he doesn't want to. It gets pointless, I guess, because you know, in all books are like, oh my god, love makes you weak and all that stuff. I gave this book 4.5 stars. Listen, I was gonna give this book 5 stars, but I don't really like the concept of reality TV. I love drama, they're great, but reality TV for me, it's like they can literally twist whatever you say and like change audios and add audios when it's not supposed to be, and so I wasn't a fan of that. And also Scott, I have no words for how much I hate him. I've never hated someone so much in my life. I mean, that goes without saying, I still don't like Samantha Callaway. I'll say, I did cry. And you will see that in the reading vlog for this book. Next book that I read is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I have no words for this book. I really don't. So basically this is about a girl named Elliot, and her father buys this little like weekend getaway home after her mum had died, and her request was basically to have a getaway for Macy and this whole list of stuff, which was so cute. And so when she went to the home for the first time, she found this boy in a closet reading named Elliot. Kind of right off the bat they formed this bond because they both love reading, and so obviously because she goes there almost every weekend, they sit in that closet and they read and they talk and they have their favorite words. 10 years later? I think it's 10 years later. They haven't spoken to each other in like 10-15 years, and they run into each other at this coffee shop. She doesn't want to talk to him because of something that happened in the past. And so you get then and now chapters, which I love. The comfort that this book gave me, like right off the bat, I knew I was going to finish it in a day. But I decided to procrastinate it and finish it in about, I finished it in 3 days. Because I loved this book. It was so good. 5 stars. One of my absolute comfort reads. I did read this for a video, so you'll be able to see some of my reactions to this book, because I was not great with filming clips for this book. But just know that I absolutely love this book. My absolute comfort. It almost made me cry, okay? I was downstairs, I had family around me, and I didn't want to cry. If you haven't read this book, please go read it. It is so good. Okay, we are back. I had to change my freaking battery. I let the battery charge for a little bit while I was reading a bit of my book. So we should be fine. Still got 3 more books to get through, but I think we're going to get them pretty quickly. The next book that I read this month is Reminders of Him. It was literally about time that I read this. I was supposed to read it the day that I got it because I was so excited to read it. I think I got it like 2 days after release date. Yeah, I just didn't want to go through pain at that time, but I decided to go through pain this month. Almost every book has pain. I just realized. Month of pain. So this book is about Kenna, and she's just gotten out of prison. She's been in there for 5 years for an accident that happened. So she goes back to the town that she used to live at because her daughter is there. Her 4-year-old daughter that she wants to reunite with because she has never been able to see her daughter. But unfortunately there are people in her daughter's life that don't want her to be involved because of what happened, even though they don't really know like the full story of what happened. But the only person that'll be able to help her get into her daughter's life is Ledger Ward. He is a part of her daughter's life, and their little relationship together is just so cute. I love it. I love this book. It is so cute. I love Diem. Is that his name? Diem? Diem? I think it's a very like unique name, and I love it. I love Kenna. I love Ledger. Listen, one thing about Ledger is that people are probably gonna hate me for this, but I didn't like love him throughout the book until probably the last like few chapters. I think it was about like probably 6 chapters I had left, and I was like, okay, now I really love him. Because listen, throughout this book he is a little like up and down with his decisions, and I'm like, you make a decision, think about it, and then go with it. I gave this book 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. Colleen Hoover has done it again. I'm surprised, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't cry. I teared up, but I didn't cry. This book is cute and heartbreaking at the same time. You know, just learning what happened with Kenna is just absolutely heartbreaking. But yeah, really loved it. I'm already smiling. The second to last book that I read is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This is my first book by her, and she did not disappoint. Like, did not disappoint at all. This is about a girl named Brie Prescott, and she had basically run away to a small town called, I think it's Pellion, Maine, because of what happened in her past, and she doesn't want to be where she usually lives, and she just kind of wanted to rebuild her life in a sort of way. And so while she's in this town, she meets the quiet, the innocent Archer Hale. In this town, Archer is basically like a nobody. No one talks to him, he doesn't talk to them. So they meet, and she becomes kind of curious to why everyone's ignoring him and just wanting to be his friend. It is literally the cutest thing ever. He's mute, he can hear, but he just can't speak because of something that happened in his past. Basically, this book is trauma bonding. Check up trigger warnings for this book. There are things in it you will need to search up. This book, 5 out of 5 stars. 1,000,000 stars, infinity stars. I absolutely loved this book. Archer Hale is everything, and so is Brie. I Brie you, I Archer you. Oh my god. If you haven't read this book, highly recommend going and reading it. The last book I'm still currently reading, but I don't have much left of it because it is a short read. But I read A Risk on Forever by Ennis Perkins. As you can tell, I'm almost done. So this book follows Adelaide, and she got fired for her job because I think the business wasn't really doing well, so they couldn't keep her working. Obviously she needed to find a new job. It was a miracle that she found this, kind of like right after, I guess. Not right after, but like probably a couple minutes after. She finds the job as a caregiver for a woman who has ALS, and she meets the woman Helen, and then she meets her son Matthias. Is it Matthias or Matthias? I don't know, I get confused because obviously I've read Six of Crows and it's Matthias, and so I've been saying Matthias the whole time. Anyways, so Matthias is a pilot, and he's grumpy and he doesn't like her. He doesn't trust her to do this job, but obviously Helen really wants her. And so obviously she gets hired for this job. Adelaide and Matthias kind of form a bond and everything. I am really loving this book. Right off the bat, I was going through it, but by the time that I've edited this video and everything after work, I would have finished this book, because I will finish it today. Yeah, I just wanted to add this in because I'm almost done. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are all the books that I read, including Broken Prince. I'll just put my phone on top because I read it on my phone. I've already made my April TBR, so if you want to see what books that I want to read this month, then I'll make a video on that. I do have some really great books I'm going to read next month, and I will be reading on my Kindle because I have a book that recently, I think it came out last week, exactly a week today. It came out and I bought it on my Kindle because I'm not paying freaking like 35 bucks for a paperback. Yeah, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Freaking stuff everywhere. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos by me, and turn on your post notifications so you know every time I upload. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, or just when I see you. Bye!